Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Please remember. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to Toppers session today. So, as you know, we have our topper Prativa Lama, who has secured 461 rank in CSE 2024, and she always wanted to be a diplomat. I think always, maybe. Right? Yeah. So she wanted to be in Indian Foreign Service, and she is getting Indian Foreign Service. So that's a wonderful thing. And I had an opportunity to do mock interview to guide her for the interview. So during that time, we had few conversations. And while having the conversation, I realized that there is so much of diversity in the people who come into civil services. So as a representative of diversity, I am not talking about the Northeast kind of diversity. It is in terms of academics, in terms of aspirations. So she is a computer science graduate from RC College of Engineering in West Bengal. And then she pursued her MBA from IIM Bangalore. So and then she was working in ITC. While working, she started preparing, and I think while working, she has cracked the examination. I think you took 2 years back, you took the leave. And I think in between you also failed in CSAT, I think. No? Yes, yes, right. Yeah, yeah. So I am Bangalore, but right. So she will tell why and how she rectified in her talk. It's a very interesting thing, right? So while she was answering, I was very confident that she was going to get a very good score, and I think she got decent enough score in the interview as well. So the versatility in personality stems from the kind of choices you make, the kind of exposure you get, the hobbies you have. One of the hobbies she had mentioned in uh, her DAF, detailed application form, was uh, sustainable fashion. That was there, right? Yeah, sustainable fashion. So I was keenly interested in it. So I have asked so many questions related to that. I think did they ask questions related to that? No, not a single question, right? So, but I was very curious about, because we rarely see any aspirant. There was another aspirant who became topper who had mentioned modeling, fashion modeling, so as a hobby, and this was something sustainable fashion, another interesting hobby. So I have been an advocate of having versatile, diverse hobbies and interest for all of you. So in today's session, you are going to learn a lot about how to navigate through this examination, how to crack this examination. So last topper's talk also I had said that anybody who has cracked this examination is purely, they have earned it, through their hard work and through their individuality. Some of the things they are going to talk about, right, will be relevant to you, but not all of the things, right? So you select those that are for you, right, that resonate with you, that are applicable to you, and implement, not as a blanket everything they say. I think she agrees with that, right? So once again, thank you so much for accepting invitation and coming here to deliver the talk. I hand over the mic to her. Over to her. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. Oh, okay. I'll use this. This also. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and giving a very long introduction. And thank you to each one of you also for taking out time to come out and listen to my story and perhaps take some learnings from what I have done. I would like to add one more thing. Actually, I'm from Darjeeling, but I've been living in Bangalore for quite some time now, after I came down for college. And this journey has been quite a long one. So it was my 6th attempt and 3rd mains and my first and thankfully the last interview. So I've learned quite many things about myself as well as the world around me, I think. Coming here today feels like a little bit surreal because every time I would not, I would fail in prelims or mains, I would go back home and binge watch toppers videos like Netflix series. I would not sleep, I would keep watching and keep thinking what people have done and where am I going wrong. So this is kind of different because I'm on the other side right now. So yes, there was a bit of luck. Luck also plays a factor there because everybody works really hard for this exam. And for me, as sir said, I've always been into reading since I was in school, and it was a dream, but it was a childhood dream, yes. But somehow life happened, and yeah, it got delayed. I started quite late. I was well into my corporate career when I decided, okay, this is what I want to do. So I went back to my school days and revived this dream I had. And when I decided to do it, it was, I think the first attempt was in 2019. So I cleared the first prelims, but I had not prepared well for the mains, and yeah, I didn't clear it. And I went, I think I wasted a lot of time after that, because nobody told me you have to start preparing for the second attempt, because I was preparing by myself, and I got I got lost. I kept thinking, oh my God, I didn't clear it. So I think like this exam, like the way I see it, I cleared it in my sixth attempt, and hopefully you will not. I wish that nobody of you would have to go through the same grueling journey, like 6 attempts. I wish you guys make it much earlier. So what I was thinking, I think sometime back, like when I was reflecting on my journey, on why it took so long, and what could have been different. So I was thinking that like this exam, yes, it is difficult, but you need to strategize and plan and have a proper approach to it. Because if you do not have that, then you will be like me. You will be caught in that vicious circle of prelims and mains, prelims and mains. Then you are not ready for mains, then you have to give, and you're not prepared properly. You've not written enough answers, and then you get stuck in that cycle, and it's very difficult to get out of it. So like if you strategize and plan it properly, mostly you will be able to do it earlier. I think like, can I use the board or something? Yeah. So if you see like people who have cleared, candidates who have cleared it, like there is a bell curve. So mostly the first and the second attempts, those who have cleared in the first and the second attempts, they would be on this side of the bell curve, and fifth and sixth, they would be on the other side. So it's not like people don't make it in the first and second attempts, but mostly I think the bulk of the candidates make it in the third and fourth attempt. So I think that is the ideal sweet spot. So when you think about the exam that way, okay, yeah, I'll just make the bell curve. Yeah, so first and second, so, oh, how do it? So first and second, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth. So I lie somewhere here. Some people would have cleared it in their first and second attempt, but mostly the bulk of the people would clear it in the third and fourth attempts. And this is a fair chance and a fair opportunity you are giving to yourself, that like, because it is, yes, a grueling journey, and you need to, the syllabus is huge. In fact, to complete it in 1 year is also a big thing. So I think what I would have done differently, probably when I think about it now, is first couple of years, first and second, probably complete the syllabus, focus on the optional part, and third and fourth is when you bring it up to a peak. Keep writing answers, keep writing better answers, and that's when you have a very good shot of clearing the exam. And hopefully you will not be like me here, stuck in the cycle and like clearing it almost towards the last. Like this was my last attempt, and yes, there was a lot of pressure. So this is what I think, like in hindsight, that's what I thought. I'll share it with you guys. And when you plan for this, so you will not get dejected also. Like it's very easy to bounce back, because I spent a lot of, I think initial few years, I spent a lot of time being dejected, being disappointed in myself, and kept thinking like, what did I do wrong? Am I not so good? Like, will I not be able to make it? So I kept thinking that and wasting my time. So when you plan and strategize properly and have a very structured approach to it, then you will be able to tackle the disappointments very quickly, and you will be able to bounce back very soon. And I think, trust me, that is the best way. Like the sooner you come back from your failures and setbacks, the easier it is. I think towards the end of it, I kind of like got into the groove, and yeah, after not clearing prelims or not clearing mains, I would feel sad for some time. And yes, and I decided this is what I want to do for myself. So I would come back and start studying immediately. So this is what I think you guys also have to do. Bouncing back as soon as possible. That's the best way to go ahead. Okay, so and I think sir also mentioned 2023 prelims was such a disaster for me. CSAT, I didn't clear by like 4-5 marks, big one, because CSAT earlier used to be very easy. In fact, I think 2019 I went to the exam hall. I wrote just a couple of tests. I went and straight away wrote the CSAT exam, and I got 80 or 90 or something. I never had to worry about CSAT. But then like 2023. So the morning exam itself was, I'm sure, I think many of you would have given 2023 exam. It was so tough, the first exam. In fact, when I was writing the test, I seldom ever like raise my head from the exam hall, from my paper. But that day I looked up and looked around and I thought, how the hell are people writing this exam? It was so damn difficult. And after that also, I came out. I kept thinking about that exam, which was a disaster, I thought. I came back in that break time also, I was thinking about that exam. After that, when I went for the CSAT exam, I was thinking about the morning exam. So that morning exam kept flashing, the questions kept flashing in front of my eyes. And somehow I could not block that thing, and it was so detrimental. And only when the marks came out, I realized like I got like 102 in the morning exam, and I missed it by 5 marks, the CSAT. So I lost a year. And it cost me a lot of pain. So that's what I think, like if you plan and strategize properly. So I'll tell you how to go about CSAT, probably what I did, I'll tell you like as we go on. So prelims, if you see, like I'll just write down my marks. I think I've got okay. Give me one.
And next slide.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I keep writing. 98.99. This is 2022. So, oh. Okay, sorry, this is new to me. 98.99. 75.95. 102.36. 61.68, 99.65, 95.83. So this is CSAT, and this is the GS. This is 2022, 23, and 24. So somewhere, I think I feel like I have had a good understanding of the prelims, especially the GS paper. So this is the last 3 years I've consistently got like in this range. So what I understood about prelims from my preparations is that prelims is all about conceptual clarity and basics. So actually what happened was the first attempt I cleared prelims, right? So the next two attempts, 2020 and 2021, I did not clear prelims. So 2021 prelims was a big turning point for me because I had prepared quite hard for that, and it was a disaster. I think in my key I got like 57 or something, so it was below 60. And I think I watched Vinessa's video after that. Like I was very disappointed. And in the exam hall I thought I had done really well, but when I came back and matched the keys, I realized, oh my god, it was a disaster, and I cried through the night. And in the morning I saw Vinessa's video. So he had said that if you are getting in the prelims exam anywhere below 60, that means that your core fundamental basics, you have messed up. There is something wrong in your preparation, so you better rectify it. So that is, you have not grasped the fundamentals of the prelims subjects properly. So what I did was, I went back to the NCRTs. So before this, I used to read like ebooks. I downloaded it, and I was preparing while working, so I would read the ebooks in office whenever I had time. Then after that, I bought all the NCRTs, all standard books I had. So I went through the NCRTs in detail, like all the concepts, and not just reading NCRTs. And every prelims attempt I made, every time I would go through the NCERTs in detail. I never ignored the concepts. So I think that is one strong, very strong learning that I had taken from my prelims preparation, and that's what I think that's what worked in my favor, I feel. Yes, you do current affairs also, but that is additional. So that is your periphery. So the core is always your base knowledge, your concepts and your conceptual clarity that you have developed over the years, especially in all the subjects. And what worked is having that clarity in all of these subjects. So and one more thing is that what I used to do is, after giving the test, so I used to focus a lot on the mistakes. Like I think in terms of the amount of time I used to spend, I would spend more time in analyzing the question paper on my mistakes. So this is how I used to analyze my mistakes. Like I would classify it like, okay, how do we do this? This one? Okay, got it. So I would classify my mistakes. Like every time I would give a prelims paper, I would look at the mistakes. Whatever you have got it correct, does not matter. You have got it correct, you will get it correct in the exam. So I would classify it as T1, T2, T3 and T4. So T1 would be concepts that you already know, but there is additional information you've got in the test. That's why you made it wrong. So this is additional info. T2 is the kind of mistakes you have made because you forgot. You knew the concept, but you forgot, and that's why you made it wrong. T3 would be the guesses that I would make. And T4 is the conceptual mistakes. So this is okay. D1 type of mistakes, additional information you keep adding to your notes. You keep adding it to your books, wherever it is. T2, you've forgotten it. Okay, you go back and revise. T3, it's guess. You have to make certain amount of guesses. You can, as long as you can keep that, you can manage or control the threshold of error, that is fine. But this is the most important. The conceptual mistakes, you should never make it. Like I had reduced this to almost 0 or 1 probably in every test. So if you are making conceptual type of mistakes, you have to go back to your books. In fact, I think one of the mentors at Insights Only, like I think when we were discussing one of the papers, so he had said that like you go back to the books, you go back to the notes or concepts that you have learned and go and rectify it there in the books and in your mind, so that you will never make that mistake again. So I know it took a lot of time, and I sometimes would not agree with that, but that eventually paid off. So conceptual mistakes, like you cannot make it because it's going to cost you. Everyone is going to make it correct, and if you make it incorrect, that means it's going to cost you. So this is how I used to analyze my mistakes. And I think looking at the mistakes and analyzing them, seeing where you are going wrong, it will actually show you where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and what area you need to cover, gaps you need to cover. For prelims, I would like to mention one more thing, I think, which cost me 2 attempts. It was the current affair modules. So that was, I really struggled with it. It was like thousands of pages, and I don't know, like from my experience, I think I would suggest to stay away from it. For my current affairs, I just relied on the Hindu, the newspaper, and in the recent last 3 attempts, because every time, I think the first 2 times, the second and the third times when I did not make it, I sat down with current affair modules and I would read it for months. And you all know, right, how bulky it is. Like every month is like 200 pages. It's a lot of information. So I think when you cram that information in your head, like there's less amount of space left for conceptual and the core stuff. So yeah, I think like that really killed my 2 attempts. For the mains part, like if we go to the mains part, most, like I think you would have heard everyone say how important answer writing is. Answer writing is very important. I used to write like between prelims and mains. I used to write like almost 10 answers per day when I'm not writing the tests. And I think this is like with a disclaimer, because to be able to write 10 answers per day, I could not write it like in the previous attempts, because you need to have certain kind of accumulated knowledge to be able to go through and sit through that 10 answers per day. But that is the level you need to bring to when you are writing the mains. So if you are able to write 10 answers and go through it every day, I think that will really like help you in some way. And one very important thing I think I would like to share is the one of the mocks, I think from Insights only, I gave. So it was a GS1 paper, and it was like a week before, at least like I think 10 days, 8 to 10 days before the real exam. And I had already given one set of simulation tests, and I was very tired. So I thought like, okay, I was not sure should I give it or not give it. But okay, I decided this is what I want to do. I want to finish off all the mocks and I want to write it. So I decided to give it. So during, I think, during when I was writing it, and I was writing it at home, so like my mind kept playing tricks on it, saying that okay, I think nobody is like, you don't have to, you're not accountable to anyone, right? Like you can give it up, you can sit and say that okay, fine, you don't need to do it. And it kept telling me that okay, you don't want to peak off early, by the time next week comes you will be too tired. So these were the tricks that my mind was playing on me. But I kept at it. I could not think much, but I continued writing, and I think that is what defined my 6 years of preparation, that I did not quit that day. And I think I got 89, but yeah, that is I think one of the most important and the best exam that I gave in this whole preparation, the mocks. So it's what you need to do to keep at it. And there's a lot of times you feel like quitting and you don't want to do it. I think especially when tasks are very hard, like your mind, mentally your mind keeps creating problems and telling you that okay, you can give it up, it's okay. So, but you should not listen to that. You should keep doing it. You should keep at it. So that's what about means. And coming to the interview part, I think by the time you come there, Vinay sir is there to help you out. So that should not be a problem. I think you can think about it later. But this is how like the entire, my entire journey has been. A couple of things that are very peculiar to me. I don't know like if others do it or not. But these are small, like I think in sociology you call it like doing it, right? Practices. So small things that I did. For example, like in the army, they say like सिखलाई लड़ाई की तौर पर और लड़ाई सिखलाई की जोर पर, which is like to train as you fight and to fight as you train. So like every mock that I gave, I was at home, I was doing it by myself, and every mock I gave, I would wake up in the morning and get dressed up and give it like the real exam every time at the same time. So somehow this kind of like conditioned my mind, like I would tell my family only like I'm giving the mock, and everyone would know I'm giving the mock that day, and I treated it like a proper exam. So that was one thing I did. Second thing is the CSAT. After the CSAT disaster, what a small trick that my friend taught me was to tear up the morning paper. So I know it was very difficult. So he told me, you tear it up and throw it in the dustbin. I tore it, but I did not throw it in the dustbin. I could not have the heart to it. So I used to tear up every mock I gave, like the full length test. I tore it up and I kept it aside. But that actually mentally, so you're done with that morning exam. So you can focus on the second exam, CSAT, right? So I think it's called cerebral something. okay, I'm not getting the term. So you kind of like push that away and block it out of your mind because that is no longer relevant. You've given the exam, it's in the past now. So you have to think, what you have to think is the current, right? And the third thing I did was pre-commitment. So pre-commitment is something I used to do it, and because this is such a long exam, there are times when you don't want to do things. There are times when you are not motivated enough to do it. And so pre-commitment is something you tell your close friend or family. So I used to tell my friend, okay, I'm going to give that polity test on Friday. So I would ensure, because I have said it to somebody, I would ensure that I will do it. So because when you keep it to yourself, you will keep postponing, and it's very easy, especially if you're studying alone at home. It's very easy to think that, okay, I have not completed. Thursday comes and you will think that, okay, I have not completed this much, let me do it on Sunday. Then when Sunday comes, you will be like, okay, let me just do it like next week. So once you pre-commit things, or like you are forced to like live up to it. That is one thing I did. And another thing, I think the fourth thing which I did was not to check the keys. So this somehow worked for me, because why to die twice, right? You can die once when the result comes. So I would straight away start preparing for mains. Like I would give the exam, come back, because after 2021, I told you, right? Like I checked the keys and I cried the whole night till morning 6 a.m. And after that, I thought like, oh my God, this is done. Like I'm done types. And then like, so after that, every other attempt I gave, I never checked the keys. So I would go give it. I was very curious. Yes, I would probably check one or two answers in Google or something. That curiosity kept at it. But I kind of like put that exam away. And I know it's very difficult to do it, but I would keep it away. And the next couple of days, I would start my mains preparation immediately, regardless of whether I cleared or not cleared. In fact, 2023, when I did not clear prelims, I prepared for mains. And I think in November or December type, I gave the entire set of exams, the real exam. I had not checked the question paper. I didn't know what was there. But after my preparation for mains, I sat down and gave the entire question paper, all GS 1, 2, 3, 4, essay, optional, both papers. And then I sent it to some of the, to Insights, I think to some of my mentors to check it. So that's what I kept doing it. So I did not wait for the results to come out. I didn't wait for the outcome to come out. And yeah, to sum up, so I think like I would say that prelims is all about basics and fundamentals. Mains all about answer writing. And third thing is interview. Vinay sir is there. He will help you. And after that, and your CSAT, don't ignore your CSAT. So CSAT was crucial for me, and I kept, I modified, for CSAT also the basics worked, you know, like looking at the approach, rather than solving many questions, what I did was, I looked at the approach of solving a problem. And CSAT, there are always, you know, like, there are always easy to moderate questions hiding. It's about finding those right questions. You know, like, I think that sunk cost fallacy was very evident with me. Like, it was a problem that kept creeping at me. Because I would start a sum and half a minute, 1 minute down, I have not finished it, but I'm halfway. No, I would keep telling, okay, a little bit more. But then you're wasting time, right? Rather than you would find a question which you can solve in 10 seconds. Rather than keeping on going at it for 1.5, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. So that's, I think that's a call you have to take. So CSAT is very important, don't ignore. And to wrap it up, I would like to say, I think the best motivation is not me standing in front of you and telling you inspiring stuff, or anybody else. For me, what worked was, the biggest motivation for me was when I finished what I had to finish, like when I finished my targets. If I said I'm going to finish 100 pages of this book and I finished it, that itself was a dopamine hit. So that itself kept me going, that itself was a fuel. So if I've given a test, if I've done well in the test, that itself kept motivating me. So I think what you need to do is just keep doing it. Like, yes, listening to all these things is great, but you have to get it down and do it yourself and get your hands dirty. So I would like to end the session, and thank you so much. Like, any questions, I think. Yeah, anyone can ask questions. Yes, hi. Hi. Thank you.
For coming out from this loop. So yeah, ma'am, I have a bunch of questions for you.
Sure.
Uh, so prelims paper one, like how important is current affairs, and did you make any kind of notes for it? Anything? Question one, and question two. I saw that you had sociology as an optional, and even I have taken. So any recommendation, any tips for that? Question three is, yeah, ma'am, I'm in my first month of preparation and dreaming to become an IAS officer from class 9. So, yeah, any suggestions? What should I do? How should I have an ideal preparation? And fourth question might be lame. Does handwriting matters?
Okay,
That's
that's a bunch of questions. I'll try to answer it. You can prompt me if I forget any of them. So the first one you asked is about prelims and how important is current affairs. So see, like initially I used to do a lot of current affairs, I kept my mind was bombarded with current affairs, and I think that took the focus away. So I kept my focus as the static part, the core conceptual subjects. I kept that as my focus, and then on the periphery I did current affairs. It's not like I didn't do any current affairs. I kept reading the newspaper every day. Some of the days I did miss, so that's not a problem, but I kept reading the newspapers, and at the end of my preparation, what I used to do is supplement it with crash courses or something, so that I would see if there's anything I missed. So I focused a lot on the conceptual part, the static part, and I did not make any notes for current affairs. So I would read from the newspapers, so you would know what are the main issues, or what are the main current happenings that are going on. So that was, I think, enough for me. The second question you asked about sociology. So I had a very tough time with sociology. So if anyone says that it's an easy subject, I will actually punch that person. So actually, I took it thinking it's an easy subject, like the syllabus is very readable, short, and it's all very things that you see every day in your life. So I thought I'll manage it. But the subject is easy. Understanding the subject is easy, reading the books is easy, but writing the answers is not easy. There's a question, you have written the answer, and the answer is also correct. Answer is not wrong, answer is correct, but you're not getting marks. So I struggled a lot. I think the second mains that I gave, I was very disappointed in sociology. Even after studying a lot, I think I got less marks than my first attempt. So what worked for me this time in sociology was, one was connecting the two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So I would write thinkers, I would use the thinkers from paper 1 in paper 2, and use the examples from paper 2 in paper 1. And one more thing was, I think that's a myth that people create, that the moment it is sociology, you need to bombard it with sociological thinkers. So in the 2022 mains, when I wrote, I would, the moment I saw a question, I would think of 5 thinkers and write them. I don't know whether, even if it is fairly connected, I would write it down. And that is a mistake that I think, everyone makes. I feel that's a mistake, because there's a question. First, you need to answer the question, and then think about which thinkers are relevant, which examples are relevant. It's not about writing 5 or 10 thinkers and your job is done. Let the examiner figure out the answer from this, right? So I would write, and my answers would be like a bunch of thinkers pushed together in that particular concept. It was correct, no doubt it was correct, but there was no flow. It was not simple to understand, and there were no examples to enrich it. So that's what I changed a little bit. This time I made it more simpler. I used thinkers, probably less amount of thinkers, but whatever is relevant. So I think I focused on relevance and examples, more examples and more illustrations. In fact, I think I used AI for examples. I would keep prompting the AIs and asking it, give me examples, give me sociological examples, and I kept adding them into my notes. So that's what I did. And I think the fourth thing you asked about about handwriting. So I fortunately I have had a fair good amount of handwriting. But what I think is important, I feel, is your legibility more than the handwriting. You should be able to read what you have written. So if your handwriting is such that like the other person cannot read at all, then that's a problem. But otherwise, I think those are all non-issues. So don't focus too much on like your handwriting is bad or if it is legible, if someone is able to read it, I think it is fine. You don't need to have like win a handwriting competition or something like that. So that is fine. Oh, I missed. Sorry? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I would suggest you finish off the syllabus, like what is there you keep the syllabus in your hand and your PYQs, and that should guide you. That should guide you for your preparation. Focus on completing it, completing the syllabus, accumulating the right kind of knowledge, and having that base content ready. So you have to have your base notes ready. So because that is what you're going to use it for the next 2-3 years. So you keep adding to that. So don't waste that notes. The base notes are very important. Anyone? Okay, I think.
Ma'am, you said, hello. You said you daily wrote in between prelims and mains, you wrote 10 answers.
Yes.
You get those feedback or something, you would only correct those.
Sorry?
You told that you will write 10 answers daily, ma'am.
Yes.
You will get those feedbacks or you will only correct those?
No, I only used to correct it. I would see them. These are PYQs I would read, I would write. So whatever topics I would finish that particular day, so I would make a note of that. And PYQs I had segregated it topic wise. So for that particular topic, I would write, like select 10 questions and write it. And then read it, and then I think after a point of time, you kind of know what kind of answers you are writing. So you correct it yourself. So the tests would be corrected, but the 10 answers which I was writing is more of a practice to make your mind adjusted to that writing every day 10 answers.
Firstly, congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
Could you please tell us how to write a good essay and what was your style of writing essays?
Okay, so essay, I used to follow Vinay sir's advice. So he used to come up with videos on essays, on how to write the essays. And somehow like it really resonated with me because I feel like rather than, copying from other people's what they have written, essays and all, I think like your originality is what matters, and original ideas are what matters. It's not the flamboyant English that you write, like fancy English. It's not anything like that. It's just about new ideas and fresh ideas. I think that really works. But I would like to add a disclaimer. So the first attempt I had given in essay, I got like 129, but this time I think like while I was doing very well in my mocks, I was getting 120 plus in my mocks, but somehow in the real exam essay was let down. I got like 106 or something. But I think like I really used to enjoy writing. I used to write short stories also. So I used to like writing essays, and somehow I had developed a certain flow to my essays, and so the way I approached it was giving it like any topic that you pick up. I would think about it in like 4-5 structures, like what is the topic about, and then taking 3-4 like dimensions, like sir mentioned, and it's not like your pastel or anything like that, like thinking about it in different ways, the essay topic. So that's how I used to approach the essay, and use a lot of examples from different not just from newspapers, from books you have written, things around you that you have seen. So I think I use that a lot, like examples examples, and especially like anything that interests me. So I used to keep watching some of the videos on YouTube on philosophers. So those, I think I used to pick it up, and I used to really like some of them, and I kept using them. And so somehow I think essay, I used to go with the flow and keep it like that. And I didn't write too many. I think like I wrote like 5-6 essays in the pre to mains. But over the time I had written many essays, but I think I just wrote 5 to 6 essays for this time. So yeah, I think originality is what works, I think, in essay. So that's what makes your essay more interesting to read.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Works in the interview. Did you do that kind of task, and what are your interview questions? So is there only a number of these are? Okay. Okay. So it's good to have a hobby. It's good to develop a hobby, not just for the exam, but for yourself, I think, to keep your mind away from whatever studies you are doing. And I did not have to develop anything. I just had a list of things I used to do. I used to like reading and writing stories, and yeah, I was helping my sister with her work. So that's how sustainable fashion also came. So I think like it's good to have something, but don't force yourself. So just because you want to write a very innovative hobby in your DAF does not mean you pick it up and force yourself to do it. So that's not the right way, I think. And fortunately or unfortunately for me, they did not ask me anything from my hobbies. So they looked at my DAF, and my sports was empty. Sports field was empty. So one of the sirs, interviewers, he asked me like, so you don't play any sports? So he didn't see the hobbies. So he saw what was blank. And then I sheepishly said, sir, I used to play a little bit of basketball in school. So, but he didn't ask me anything about basketball. He asked me like the relationship between sports and character building. But that's how it was. So you cannot predict, I think. Some people get asked about their hobbies. Some people don't. But yeah, don't just do it for the sake of it, I think. Yeah.
Ma'am, is there a need to improve vocabulary to analyze the prelims and mains questions?
What kind of vocabulary?
Like discuss critical.
The keywords, you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think a basic understanding of the keywords is important, but don't focus too much on it. Like, I think that's not the end goal. To answer the question is more important, I think. Hello. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. So since you have already graduated from IIM and you are working in a reputed MNC, so did you ever have a thought that if you continue in this private MNC, you will have various opportunities? And did you ever face a dilemma whether should I quit or I should, revive my dream? Did you ever face that dilemma? Because since now India is, third, it's in third place in the economic status. So people around us tell that, the IT sector is booming. So when you're already working and when you have lots of opportunities inside the company or outside, so did you ever face the dilemma, should I quit or, if you stay in ITC itself, or you will get more opportunities?
So I think opportunities are one thing and dream is another. So you need to take a call on that. So I did I did quit my job, and somewhere along the way, I thought like one thing that always kept me going, especially like because I was in the corporate sector already. One thing was that like at the end of like whatever like at the end of my life, I should not think about having regrets. I should have done that. I would have been able to do it, but I didn't do it. So I think the biggest failure is not trying and not being able to give your best. So I had given myself this task, and I thought like whatever be it, like I'm going to take it to the end. Whatever, either this way or that way, and I'm very thankful that I continued with my job. With this preparation, and I kept at it. And a very important role was my family and my sister, and all the close circle that I had kept on pushing me. And I think it's not about yes, there are plenty of opportunities there. You should not do this exam because it's going to be a great opportunity or a career move or something like that. So if it's something that you have given yourself, like it's a dream, and you really want to do something good, so yeah, so that's how I think should guide your decision.
So last question. So
Yes.
any tips for working professionals how to manage studying after office hours and how to focus away from office hours?
Okay, I'll tell you what I did. So, because I was working in the IT sector, so our work generally was in the evening. So, I would go to office around 10:30, 11, 10:30, generally 10:30 to 11. And most of the work was in the evening. Most of the calls, because of the US time, it's in the evening. And for those of you who are working, so I would wake up early in the morning, like 4 a.m. and study till 10. So 4 or 5 I would wake up and finish off whatever I had to study in the morning itself, because once you come back from work, like your mind is too tired to grasp anything. To be able to sit down and study was something I could not do at all. So that's how I managed when I was working, and make use of the weekends. Weekends are important, and especially the morning times. Even I think later, even after I left my job, when I was preparing full time, I would focus on the morning time. So somehow I was a morning person, and it worked for me. So I think if you can manage that, that will be great.
Lama ma'am, congratulations for getting into the merit list.
Thank you.
So we have a famous sayings that is, fear has only meaning in the dictionary, rather it doesn't have any value in the society. Taking back to your interview stage, at that period of time, do you had like a Karlungi kind of attitude, or like do you had fear at that period of time?
Sorry, I didn't get it properly.
So like we have a famous sayings that is, fear has only meaning in the dictionary, rather it doesn't have any value in the society.
Okay.
So I'm taking back to you to the interview period. Okay. So at that period of time, do you had fear in you, or you had like a Karlungi kind of attitude in you?
Okay, so especially the pressure, right? Like it was my last attempt, 6th attempt, but I didn't let it reach to me, in the sense like I never thought of this exam as like a whole thing. So I kept thinking about what's next, like if I'm in the preparing for the prelims, then I'm thinking just about the prelims. And if I'm thinking I'm writing the mains, I'm just thinking about the mains. So I would just think about what I can do this week, what I can do today, because when you think about this whole exam, it's really daunting, and especially the 6th attempt and last attempt, that fear is always there. So I didn't let that get to me. In fact, like I think from in the interview, I kind of like I felt actually very grateful and very fortunate to be there. Like all these years I had been studying at home, I had never seen UPSC Bhavan. So I went there, and it was a closed circle for me. So just to be there and to be able to get that time from 5 eminent persons who is sitting with you and having a conversation with you, that itself was a gift for me. And I took it that way only. I did not think much about it. Like after I think I came out of the interview, and my interview did not go like stellar or something like that. There were plenty of questions I did not know. I kept saying, I don't know, sir. And I came out and yeah, it was very surreal for me. So it was, I think like, yeah, fear is there, but you should not let it get to you, I think.
Once again, ma'am. So yeah, ma'am, you have taken 3 to 4 attempts, and at the end you have cleared this UPSC exam. So if you would have a time machine, if you had taken all this experience and go back, and what are the tips you would have followed to clear in first attempt, ma'am?
Okay. So I think I started the session with that only, right? Like planning and strategizing properly. So that is what I think one thing I really lacked. So that I would rectify it. I would rectify that, the approach, the strategy. Right at the beginning, if you have a clear strategy, so there are plenty of people who have cleared in the first and second as well. So yeah, if you have a clear approach and a clear strategy to this exam, you can clear it. And yeah. Anything else? We're done? Okay, you want to ask? Yes. Okay, so I used to, I think I said before, I used to read a lot of books and I used to read a lot of spy novels. So, so I think diplomats, the work that diplomats do really like, I used to find very inspiring and very exciting. And at that point of time, I was quite small. And I think like my career advisor had come in school and he advised me to take humanities, but I did not. So, so I ended up going the long, convoluted way and got delayed. But yeah, I think like even when I was small, even when I was in school, like I was always surrounded with like my relatives and all that, like around me in Darjeeling, right? So like foreign policy, I think foreign policy at that time, obviously I did not gauge it, but I knew that somewhere, like, you know, these foreign relations with other countries are very important. They play an important role in our lives. Like my uncle was in the Indian Army, and after that he had gone to Afghanistan to serve. So so he used to keep telling us that, you know, like these military contractors hire only Indian Army veterans, the soldiers, right? So it is something to do with India, right? Like that's what made it special. So like other people, like my aunts and other people I have seen around in my hometown. So so it was at a very small age, like we were exposed to such things. So I always knew that somewhere, you know, it is important. But like I think over the years, obviously because I chose engineering and then went on to MBA, and it took a long path, but I did go back to my dream, thankfully. Yeah, I'm very thankful to that. So yeah, so that's how I thought, like you know, and when I thought of UPSC, so it was always the foreign service for me. Good evening. Thank you. Okay, so I think like the approach for both I think the GS, what you are saying is more objective and more factual, and the essay, no doubt, I think over the years it has become more philosophical. So I think like when it is philosophical topics, it gives you quite a lot of flexibility, because any which ways factual and other stuff you are already studying in the GS subjects, right? So I think philosophical essays gives you that flexibility and that space to experiment with ideas, different things and new things, and you can use a lot of knowledge from outside the GS, outside your UPSC preparation also as well in that essay. So I think you should take it as an opportunity that it's a philosophical essay and not dread it actually. So you can, if you can use it rightly and use it well, those are very high scorers. And sorry, I forgot the second question. Okay, so I write short stories. I write stories from back home and life in the mountains, hills, and the people, I think the daily life there, which is very different from the city life, right? It's very slow and there's a certain charm to it. And I think that that is what I used to keep writing. I didn't get so much of time to write during my preparation, but yeah, that was something I always did. Thank you. Sorry? Okay, I have not published it, so it's with me only. If you're interested, I can send it. Yeah. Okay, anything else?
So do you have some more doubts? I think you can ask them. These are the, this is the great opportunity, right? So you should be more curious. No more questions? Okay.
Treat it as completely informal. I think you can ask me any
Yes. Okay. So I keenly, listened to her talk. It was wonderful. Few things that I really appreciate. I mean, I also learned that I didn't know that I was practicing. One thing you talked about, that learn while fighting and fight while learning. So I am a very ardent practitioner of this particular strategy. I don't believe in planning so ahead and executing. So you just plunge into something, keep fighting, keep learning. I think this examination is more about that kind of smartness, adaptability, your ability to change, adapt, and execute. So that was a wonderful point. And she also talked about sunk cost fallacy, right? I don't know how many of you heard about it. So that is something, you were stuck with something. Let us say you chose physics as your optional and you love physics so much and you have invested 3 years in physics and you have taken coaching and spent 3 lakhs on physics. And I tell you that change physics into maybe some other optional, but you are unwilling to do so. So that is sunk cost fallacy. I see so many of you doing that. And so there was a girl recently, she has done BSc mathematics and I kept on telling, don't take mathematics. But she was good in mathematics in BSc. So, right, I tried to convince so much. So no, I'll go ahead with mathematics. So, I mean, I tried to reason with her. I gave so many examples because I had the pleasure of guiding many IIT students who had done integrated course in mathematics from some of the best IITs. So even they struggled. But then what happens, I've invested so much time, right? So that is another wonderful point. So that is what, again, related to the first, you have to change, you have to adapt. You should know what is working, what works, and you should talk to experienced people, and you should have faith also. So that is another thing. And overall, if you observe, again, so I'm so happy that, these toppers are so humble, right? Humility. And even after becoming toppers, having that humility is, what it indicates is it is part of the personality. It is not something that, developed later. And I think all these qualities collectively, the kind of personality you have, keenness in learning, keenness in sharing what you know, right? And I think all of you should introspect whatever qualities you lack, I think you should work on them. Whatever gaps you have found out so far, so invest time and energy in that. And at Insight Says we are always available, right? So myself, weekly 3 to 4 days I'm coming. I think every time you have come, I have met you,
Yes,
right? Yeah. So again, those who are serious, they somehow find me, right? So have that attitude. So wish you all the best. And once again, thank you so much. A big round of applause to Prativa.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So next weekend we will have another toppers talk. This year PSIR topper, and also working in Pondicherry Civil Services, and he is coming next week and going to deliver talk in general about how he prepared while working as an officer, and he took 1 or 2 extra attempts, and also those who have PSIR this year highest, I think he has got 288 marks. I think that is the highest this year as far as I know. So he is going to come and deliver talk. And now on our part, we would like to do a very small felicitation for coming and delivering talk, and also for becoming topper. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you all. Thank you.